It's the penultimate day of the 2024 Paralympic Games. Welcome to Paris and to highlights of today's actions so far. Coming up, a packed schedule of medal events at the Stade de France. The final day of road race action for the paracyclists. And paracanoeists sprint for their first medals of these games.
There was no lack of Parisian support for France's Lucas Didier in para-table tennis. Lin Ma from Australia, his opponent, for a place in the final of the MS9 men's singles. A frustrating start for Didier, who was unable to find his rhythm. He lost the first game in what became an epic contest. Didier fought back. The match was level. Lin Ma, vastly experienced, the Australian on his way to regaining his lead. Didier, though, was defiant. Now it was 2-all. The crowd were enjoying a thrilling game. The match went to a decider. Didier was inspired. His second match point. A magnificent comeback from the Frenchman. His older brother Hugo has won a Paralympic gold in swimming here at Paris 2024. And Lucas was one victory away from emulating him after treating his home fans to an exciting 3-2 victory over Lin Ma. The gold medal was at stake when Ida Husik-Darlen from Norway met Huang Wen-jen of the People's Republic of China in the women's singles Class 8 category. The Chinese player easily won the first game. 11-4 the score. It was tough going for the Norwegian, who improved in the next game. She still lost it, though, and was on the verge of defeat. A ruthless Huang sensed victory, eventually winning the third game 11-6. Huang had already won a gold in doubles at Paris 2024, and now she had added a singles title to her collection after a resounding 3-0 victory. Ida Husik-Darlen of Norway taking the silver medal. The gold medal match between Ukraine's Victor Diduc and Zhao Shui from the People's Republic of China was a repeat of the final at Tokyo 2020. The Chinese player came out on top then to win his third Paralympic men's singles title in a row in the Class 8 category. Diduc started well. Zhao refused to panic, even when trailing by 2 games to 1. Zhao was on his way to setting up a decider. Diduc held his nerve in the final game. Brilliant work by both players. Match point for the Ukrainian. Diduc had won his first singles gold at a Paralympic Games. One of the proudest moments of his life. Diduc overcome with emotion. Zhao's reign as champion was over. An absorbing game had ended in a 3-2 victory for Ukraine's Victor Diduc.
Maybe for Chinese player it was most pressure he has because he must to regain his title. For me, all France, all whole was supporting me. This unbelievable people, unbelievable feeling.
Actually,
I wasn't relaxed because my opponent and I had never met in finals of such a big competition. I still had to take every goal seriously and fight hard. My first singles gold medal. I hope it is a good start. I will keep working hard.
继续努力，对。
At the Porte de la Chapelle Arena, the women's up to 73 kilos category took place in the powerlifting, where the heaviest weight lifted wins the gold. Turkey's Sibel Can was the first of the medal contenders to impress. A weight of 120 kilos. And a great start for her as she topped the leaderboard. Defending champion is Mariana D'Andrea from Brazil. She made her intentions clear with her first lift, 141 kilos. That was a new Paralympic record into gold medal position. The main threat to D'Andrea was Ruza Kuzieva from Uzbekistan, attempting 1 kilo higher with her second lift. Another Paralympic record and into the lead, briefly until D'Andrea went one ahead again. Coming into the final round, Roshan Koishibayeva from Kazakhstan was in fourth place. A final lift of 123 kilos would push her up into the bronze medal spot. One referee ruled it clean, the other two did not. It's a majority rule in this sport, so Koishibayeva missed out on the podium. Currently in silver, Kuzieva. A lift of 147 kilos would be another new Paralympic record, and more importantly, move her into gold. A great lift, controlled and clean. She went ahead with one lift still to go. A huge moment now for Mariana D'Andrea. Again, just one more kilo on the bar. And it was clean. The fifth time the Paralympic record had been broken, and gold for the Brazilian. Which means that Turkey's Sibel Can won the bronze, Ruza Kuzieva from Uzbekistan won silver, and Mariana D'Andrea from Brazil keeps her crown. She is the Paralympic champion once more.
The first of 22 medal events in another packed day of track and field at Paris 2024 was the men's T34 800 metres. Among those expected to fight for gold was the current world champion, Wang Yang of the People's Republic of China. In qualifying, Wang set a new Paralympic record of 1 minute 38.57 seconds. There were lots of serious challenges. They included all the medalists from the 100 metres earlier in the Games. Winner Chaiwat Ratana of Thailand, silver medalist Valé Katila of Tunisia, and third-placed Austin Smink of Canada. He's also the world record holder over 800 metres. And it was Smink who went to the front and stayed there throughout. Coming down the final 100 metres, Smink led, with Australian Reid McCracken in second place, and Ratana doing his best to catch them both. But Smink crossed the line first in a time of 1 minute 39.27 seconds. Ratana took the silver and McCracken took bronze just ahead of Wang. Austin Smink of Canada is the new Paralympic champion in the men's T34 800 metres. Neutral Paralympic athlete and world record holder Dmitry Safronov was among those expected to challenge for gold in the men's T35 200 metres. Also in a strong lineup, Rio 2016 champion Ihor Sviatov of Ukraine, who'd won the 100 metres in this category earlier in the Games. Artem Kalashin started fastest in lane 4, but when Sviatov found his rhythm, he took control of the race. Sviatov the winner for Ukraine. Neutral Paralympic athletes Safronov and Kalashin finished in second and third. But they couldn't match the Paralympic champion Ihor Sviatov. To the men's T37 200 metres. Andrei Vdovin, another neutral Paralympic athlete, had already won gold over 400 metres and bronze in the 100 metres. This would be one of the closest races of Paris 2024. Vdovin was in a real battle with two Brazilians, Ricardo Gomes de Mendonça in lane 3 and Christian Gabriel Luiz da Costa in lane 7. As they crossed the line, it was hard to see who'd won, but Vdovin was right to be confident, as the replay showed he'd just beaten Gomes de Mendonça, with Luiz da Costa third. It was that close, just 5/100ths of a second separating all three. But Vdovin was able to celebrate a second gold medal here in Paris. The lineup for the men's 100 metres T36 included the world record holder James Turner. Already the new gold medalist over 400 metres, Turner was hoping to claim another victory for Australia. He'd have to beat the defending champion, Deng Piecheng of the People's Republic of China. Deng made the better start in lane 4, and Turner seemed to be struggling. Turner had come through to win another very close race, from Alexis Sebastian Chavez of Argentina, with Yang Yifei of the People's Republic of China third. Deng finished in 5th. James Turner had his second gold medal at Paris 2024 with a time of 11.85 seconds, which equalled the Paralympic record. Next to the women's 400 metres T13 category, where the start list included Lamia Valiyeva of Azerbaijan, the defending champion. Valiyeva has been in fine form here at Paris 2024. She won the 100 metres in a world record time. But in this race, it soon became clear that she would struggle to catch the fast-starting Rayan Suarez da Silva. The 27-year-old Brazilian won the World Championships over 200 metres earlier this year, and she was racing away from the field over 400 metres in Paris. Suarez da Silva crossed the line in a time of 53.55 seconds, beating a world record which has stood since 1995. Valiyeva finished second, with Carolina Duarte of Portugal third. But the winner, with one of the best performances in any event on the track at Paris 2024, Rayan Suarez da Silva of Brazil.
Meu sentimento é de alegria, de gratidão por tudo que eu passei para chegar até aqui. Treinei, me dediquei, me esforcei e eu sentia que era o meu momento, eu sentia que era eu que tinha que estar ali no pódio. Eu me via no pódio, eu me via pegando medalha de ouro e eu sentia que era o meu momento.
Really excited, couldn't be happier for myself, for my team, for my country. Feels awesome to be a Paralympic champion and world record holder of the 800 meter at the end of the year. Yeah, I'm not done, and in no way am I going to let off. This is really a great starting point, and I can't wait to keep building on what we've got going right now.
Two more gold medals were contested in the Grand Palais as the wheelchair fencing épée competition drew to a close. In category A, competitors have impairments to their lower limbs. In the men's event, Great Britain's Piers Gilliver was looking to improve on the two silver medals he'd already won in Paris. But it was a difficult task against Sun Gang of the People's Republic of China. He'd won 2 gold medals at these games. And this cautious point in the first round saw the Chinese athlete open up an 8-4 lead. The winner is the first to 15 points, or the leader after 3 rounds of 3 minutes. At the end of round 1, Sun was 5 points from victory. But Gilliver regrouped, and in the second round he moved to within 2 points of his opponent. Sun, though, was 2 points from the gold medal. In épée, unlike other fencing disciplines, athletes can score points simultaneously. And that is exactly what happened in the next point, meaning Sun was 1 hit away from glory. After a 4th place finish in Tokyo, Sun was back on top of the podium, having reclaimed the gold medal he won in Rio 8 years ago. Chen Yuan Dong had the chance to continue China's success when she took on Kwon Kyo Keong in the Republic of Korea in the women's final. Chen is a three-time world champion who was competing at the Paralympic Games for the first time. Kwon was also a debutant at the Paralympic Games. The objective is to hit an opponent anywhere on the body from the waist up, causing the button on the tip of the weapon to be fully depressed. Chen led 5-3 at the end of round 1. In the second round, she started to dominate and scored 8 points to move within 3 of the gold medal. Eventually, she found herself 1 point away, and she timed her attack perfectly. A comprehensive 15-6 victory, a gold medal for Chen on her Paralympic Games debut, and China had won an 8th gold medal in wheelchair fencing at Paris 2024.
I was very nervous at the beginning, but later switched on, and I felt that my confidence was getting stronger and stronger. So I entered the final, and then played quite successfully in the final.
The Netherlands went into their wheelchair basketball semi-final against Canada as favourites, having won every game at Paris 2024. But Canada, competing at the medal stage for the first time in 2 decades, were unbeaten in 3 matches before this. The key to beating the Netherlands is to stop Bo Kramer and Mariska Beyer, although no team in Paris had managed that, a trend which continued early in the game. Beyer added another basket before Kramer joined her for a swift 6-point lead. Almost 3 minutes had passed before Canada scored through Rosie Lalonde. The Canadians needed top scorer Katie Dandenau to have a big game. She obliged with a big shot just before the break. These prolific players continued to trade shots and the lead. Kramer edged the Netherlands ahead. Dandenau hit back before half-time, their efforts acknowledged in the stands. Back and forth it went in the third quarter, the outcome impossible to call. Alan Young accumulated 14 points in the first half and added plenty more in the second. No sooner had Dandenau levelled, Kramer hit back for the Dutch. Into the fourth quarter, Dandenau did her best. The score immediately cancelled out by Kramer from outside the D. Beyer hit 2 baskets to give the Dutch a 6-point lead. Young replied with 2 of her own. It was anyone's game. But Beyer and Kramer made it theirs, scoring 6 late points between them. Canada, like every other team, unable to find an answer to this dynamic Dutch duo. 72-61, the final score. So the Netherlands will play the United States in the final. Canada will face the People's Republic of China in the bronze medal match.
Laps of a 14.2-kilometre course lay ahead of the men competing in the paracycling C1 to C3 road race. 2 Frenchmen incited an early breakaway, Thomas Perroton d'Arte and Alexander Lott trying to dictate the front of the race. With them, Alexander Hayward of Canada and C3 world champion Finn Graham of Great Britain. The chasing group was made up of 2 other British riders, Jaco van Haas and the defending Paralympic champion Ben Watson. Although this is an individual event, teammates often work together on tactics, but the gap between the chasing British riders and the leaders slowly widened, meaning Van Haas and Watson were unable to help the isolated Graham. Canada's Hayward was soon dropped from the leading group. With 2 against 1, the British rider was able to stick to a wheel and make the French riders do more of the work, knowing that if it came down to a sprint finish, he would have fresher legs. The final climb, a final French attack. Graham responded, and Lott was left behind.
came to a two-way sprint for gold. And it was Graham, the C3 world champion, who took it in the final metres. So bronze went to Alexandre Lotte of France, silver went to compatriot Thomas Perroton d'Arte, and the gold medal and Paralympic title went to Finn Graham of Great Britain. So the women's C1 to C3 race over 4 laps of the same course. There was a group of 6 in the breakaway, 2 of whom were world champions in their divisions. C2 rider Florina Rigling of Switzerland and Wang Zhou-Mei of the People's Republic of China, reigning C3 champion. 2 riders from the United States had made it into the leading group, Clara Brown and Jamie Whitmore, and they were working together to keep an eye on the opposition. That included the gold and silver medalists from Tokyo 2020, Sugiura Keiko of Japan and Sweden's Anna Beck. It was a very tactical race, with Wang doing much of the legwork. She would pay for that in the latter stages. It was Sugiura who seemed to be dictating things on the final lap, putting pressure on with short attacks, but then easing back into her saddle. And as 4 competitors sped for the line, it was the Japanese rider who had the edge. So bronze went to Clara Brown of the United States, Switzerland's Florina Rigling took silver, and it was another gold for the amazing 53-year-old Sugiura Keiko of Japan, who successfully defends the title she won at her home Paralympic Games 3 years ago.
I am Jessica Long, 17-time Paralympic gold medalist. From a young age, I just wanted to prove that I was enough. And I thought that people loved me if I won gold. And I think that truly was where that fight came from. And then slowly my perspective shifted, and I know that I'm enough with or without the gold medals, but they certainly are sweet when I get to stand on top of that podium. It was the biggest challenge growing up without legs. You know, I was different. Nobody looked like me. I had surgeries every time I grew. I was adopted from Russia. Even my own birthday, I'm a leap year baby. So like, I didn't even exist on the calendar, right? Everything was telling me that I was different. I somehow made my first Paralympic team when I was 12. I'm the youngest to ever win a gold medal. And I think that just showed the tenacity and determination that I've always had.
3 in Athens, 4 in Beijing, 5
in London.
What was behind that progress, that evolution?
You know, I think for me, that was really where you saw, I mean, I'm so proud of all of that and how London was so powerful. I had an incredible coach at the time, Dave Denniston, and we had such big goals. But I think what he made me feel was just that, you know, this is just fun, right? This is just between you and I, our goals. And I just had no pressure on myself in London. And it was my best performance, right? 5 gold medals. Rio was so hard. You know, I think for me, I had 2 really bad shoulder injuries. I had a really bad eating disorder. I lost about 20 pounds. I just felt like I had no control over my life. You know, it was right around that time I had met my birth family in Russia. I met my birth mom who married my birth father, and they had 3 children. I was just struggling, and it was my burnout, right? It was my 4th games, and I was allowed to be burned out. But if I look back, you know, the fact that I was able to get a gold medal on day 10, I hope speaks to my determination. Leaving Tokyo as a 16-time gold medalist, I've won everything I've ever wanted to, and I've won it over and over again. It was really hard the last 3 years to try to figure out how do I reevaluate my goals. And being here in Paris, the 6th place hurt, the 4th place wasn't fun, but you win with grace and you lose with grace. I think for me, the victory was that I was still here. So this gold medal came as a shock. I knew I could do it, but it's like, how do you keep proving to others that you can win a gold medal at each games? You know, it's one thing to get to the top, but how do you stay at the top, right? That's so hard. So this is really sweet. I would say this is right there at the top with my first gold. I've never once said I was retiring. LA 2028 will be my farewell. I've never wanted to be good. I never wanted to be great. I wanted to be a legend in Paralympics. I think I've done that. And I think for me, you know, I still have one more race here in Paris, and I'd love to get on top of that podium. I'm not done yet. But I want to be a legend in this sport, not just Paralympic swimming, but Paralympics as a whole. Pretty proud of my 30 medals, and medals and records are meant to be broken. So we'll see, but I definitely want to be involved in the Paralympic movement as much as possible, because I know the importance of it and how much it's changed my life, and I hope that it can change the next little girl's life as well.
It was the last opportunity for para swimmers to compete for a place in a Paralympic final, the final day of qualifying heats at La Défense Arena. They've been rivals throughout these Paralympic Games. Alice Tai of Great Britain and Jessica Long from the United States of America met up again in the women's 100-metre butterfly S8. With the advantage on the start, Tai in a red cap got out in front and led into the turn. Tai's getting back to her pre-amputation times and swam a quick race. But Long's signature fast close saw her take the win. They'll meet up again for an exciting podium showdown in which Long will look for her second Paralympic medal and Tai her fifth. Lu Dong from the People's Republic of China has been a dominant force at these Paralympic Games. She was looking to defend her title in the women's SM5 200-metre individual medley. Her swift underwater start put her into a remarkable lead, and she was almost half a pool length ahead of her competition when she reached the turn into the backstroke length. Lu was in total control through the breaststroke and she cruised to a commanding first-place win. She'll eye her fifth medal of Paris 2024 in the final. Looking to challenge Lu will be this swimmer, compatriot He Shangao. After a commanding lead through most of her heat, she was beaten by Italian star Monica Boggioni, but is likely to swim a lot faster in the final. Another good race for China was the heat of the men's 100-metre backstroke S6 with three compatriots in the race. Jia Hongguang in a red cap was in the lead going into the turn. He took the race and it was a clean sweep for China. The trio will now seek to dominate the podium. One of the Islamic Republic of Iran's two para-swimmers, Sina Zagaminejad, lined up for the SM10 men's 200-metre medley. Australian Cole Pearce was fast in lane 4, the overwhelming favourite in this race. Pearce was comfortably ahead by the end of the backstroke length and closed out the race with a significant lead. His time of 2 minutes and 16.19 seconds seeing him easily through to the final. Zagaminejad finished in 8th place. In the women's 100-metre freestyle S11 heat, Lisette Brainsma of the Netherlands got off to a flying start, building a commanding lead in the opening length. Her powerful performance saw her storm home in Paralympic record time. It was just 9/10 off her own world record. She'll go for the gold medal and maybe even a new world record in the final.
It was to be a decisive day of action on the water at Vers-sur-Marne, with medals on offer in 5 of the men's and women's para-canoe categories. While many of the favourites had already booked their places in their respective finals, others, such as French KL1 athlete Remy Boule, would have the chance to reach the medal races via the semi-finals. He started well and won his race with ease. He had earned his chance to race again later in the day. Securing their participation in the men's KL2 final would be Great Britain's David Philipson and Ukraine's Mykola Sinyuk, who took the top 2 places in their semi-final. Before Australia's Susan Seipel powered her way to the win in her VL2 semi-final race. There was a closely contested race in the men's KL3 category, but the first 2 across the line to book their places in the final, were Algeria's Brahim Gwendouzi and Micaeus Elias Rodrigues of Brazil. And with the last of the day's semi-finals, Zhong Yongyuan from the People's Republic of China led the way and would also have a chance to compete for a Paralympic medal. It was time for the medal races to get underway, and first up was the men's KL1 final. Wearing green, Luis Carlos Cardoso of Brazil got away well, as did Remy Bou of France, and Hungary's defending champion Petr Kish. The medals would surely be going to those three, but it was Kish in the centre who had the pace and pulled clear. Remy Bou raced brilliantly to KL1 bronze. Luis Carlos Cardoso won silver, and Petr Kish defended his men's KL1 title to win his second Paralympic gold medal. Next up was the men's KL2 final. In yellow, defending champion Curtis McGrath of Australia was the one to beat. David Philipson in dark blue had matched him in the first 50 metres, and Italy's Christian Volpi on the far side had also started quickly. But McGrath, a 3-time gold medalist and 12-time world champion, had the speed that he needed to take the win. Philipson of Great Britain and Ukraine's Mikola Siniuk looked delighted with their silver and bronze medals. The third of the day's finals was in the women's VL2 category. Again, it was the defending champion who came in as the favourite for the win. Great Britain's Emma Wiggs started well in the centre, but she was closely followed by Brianna Hennessy of Canada in the red VAR boat. A superb stroke rate allowed Wiggs to preserve her lead to the finish line. She crossed first, ahead of Canada's Hennessy, with Susan Seipel from Australia taking third. Emma Wiggs won her third Paralympic gold medal, successfully defending the VL2 title she won in Tokyo. The men's KL3 category saw incredibly close racing right from the first heat, and the final would feature more finish line drama. Raheem Gwendouz led from the start. A superb display saw him cross the line as the undisputed winner. He had taken a sensational gold, but the other medalists had a nervous wait for confirmation of the results. Dylan Littlehales had taken silver for Australia, and eventually, Brazil's Micaeus Elias Rodrigues was confirmed to have edged into third by just 1/100th of a second. Winning KL3 gold on his Paralympic debut though, it was Brahim Gwendouz of Algeria. The last of the day's finals was in a new category for Paris 2024, the women's VL3. Current VL3 world champion Charlotte Henshaw of Great Britain came in as the one everyone wanted to beat. She powered away from the start in lane 5, with compatriot Hope Gordon pursuing her closely in lane 4. Henshaw was not to be beaten though, crossing the line first to delight her supporters, before celebrating Great Britain's 1-2 finish with Hope Gordon. Zhong Yongyuan of the People's Republic of China would finish third. A thrilling day of medal races at Vers-sur-Marne concluded then, with para-canoe history being made. The first ever women's Paralympic VL3 gold medal was won by Great Britain's Charlotte Henshaw.
It's a great feeling. You know, a lot of work went into it, and I'm just so proud to execute the result and get the gold medal and defend my championship. So it's a nice feeling. As I said, you know, a lot of work went into it. A lot of people have supported me, and I'm just over the moon. So it's very nice.
We've pushed each other on so much over these last 3-4 years when we knew it was coming into the games, and you know, it's thanks to Hope pushing me all the way that I did what I did today. And you know, some days it's Hope that gets the touch, sometimes it's me, and you know, I think that's a really healthy thing to have with a teammate, that you can keep pushing each other on, and we want to keep moving this event on. We're so pleased it's in the games, and we want it to keep growing.
The final day of the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games wheelchair tennis got underway under the roof on court Philippe Chatrier at Roland Garros. In the bronze medal match, third seed Martín de la Puente of Spain took on Gustavo Fernandez of Argentina, seeded 4. Both were looking for a first Paralympic singles medal. Even though their ranking suggested a close contest, Fernandez made a very fast start. He broke de la Puente in his opening service game to make a statement and took an early lead. From there, he was relentless throughout the first set. Consistently finding good depth on his ground strokes, the Argentine opened out a commanding lead. At least by holding serve in the 6th game, the Spaniard was on the scoreboard. But Fernandez whipped a backhand cross-court on his 3rd set point to take the set 6-1. He pushed on from there and dominated as the 2nd set got underway. In a lengthy 3rd game, Fernandez chased down a de la Puente drop shot. His speed was proving decisive. But the Spaniard had some moments of his own. He produced a delightful forehand winner after the Argentinian had ended up on the wrong side of the net. The 3rd seed held that game, but it was a long way back. Fernandez continued to dominate and was soon well ahead. While de la Puente fought hard when the 4th seed was serving for the match, the result didn't seem in doubt. A powerful forehand winner on his 2nd match point saw Fernandez claim the 6-1, 6-2 win, and with it, the bronze medal.
Game, set a match, Fernandez.
It was also the first ever Paralympic medal for Argentina in the sport of wheelchair tennis.
Next up, in the powerlifting, was the men's up to 88 kilos category. Yuri Babinets from Ukraine finished 9th at Tokyo 2020, when his best lift was 175 kilos. This time, a lift of 214 kilos was good enough to move him into 3rd spot after 2 rounds. Mohamed El Elfat of Egypt was going for a 3rd Paralympic medal after taking silver at London 2012 and bronze at Tokyo 2020. His lift of 224 kilos was clean, and he was assured of at least the silver medal. Yan Panpan from the People's Republic of China was going for a new Paralympic record with his 2nd lift. A huge weight of 235 kilos. The roar from the crowd signalled it was good. Yan had broken the record by 4 kilos and replaced El Elfat in 1st place. Into the 3rd round, and the objective was simple: Uzbekistan's Kuzmiddin Usmanov. Lift 215 cleanly and move into 3rd. But he couldn't complete the press. He finished in 5th. Babinets would get the bronze. Yan was back for his final lift with a Paralympic title already secured. He was aiming to break his new Paralympic record by a huge 7 kilos. 242 on the bar, it was clean, and the record was smashed. Yan was delighted with his work. Confirmation then that Yuri Babinets of Ukraine took the bronze medal. The Egyptian, Mohamed El Elfat, received silver. And the Paralympic champion was Yan Panpan of the People's Republic of China with a breathtaking display.
Another enthusiastic crowd at the Stade de France witnessed a high-quality contest for gold in the men's long jump T13 category. Orkan Aslanov of Azerbaijan was defending his Paralympic title, and he started well. 7 metres 18 centimetres for Aslanov, His lead didn't last long. Isaac Jean-Paul of the United States of America got the bronze medal at Tokyo 2020, and this was his first attempt. By just a couple of centimetres, Jean-Paul had taken over first place. With his supporters watching on, Aslanov was soon back again, battling for top spot. That jump of 7 metres 29 put Aslanov into the lead again. Then in round 4, Paulo Henrique Andrade dos Reis of Brazil put himself into medal contention. A lifetime best of 7:20 for Andrade dos Reis meant he was level with Jean-Paul. When scores are tied, the athlete's second best jumps are used as a decider under the count-back rules. On this basis, the American took the silver. The gold medalist, with that leap of 7 metres 29 centimetres, Orkan Aslanov of Azerbaijan. To the men's F34 shot put next, where world record holder Ahmad Hindi of Jordan was among the leading competitors. Hindi's throw of 11 metres 66 centimetres in round 2 set the standard. As he came into his final throw, Maurizio Valencia of Colombia had been struggling to match the leader. But he came up with a special throw at just the right moment. Measured at 11.71, he now had the lead. Could Azzedine Nouiri of Morocco do better? He was champion in this event at both London 2012 and Rio 2016. And his throw in round 4 looked good. 11.70 for Nouiri, just 1 centimetre shorter. He would take the silver medal. Valencia had won. He was Paralympic champion in the men's F54 shot put. In the women's F54 javelin, a new world record. It went to Nurkan Kurbanova of Uzbekistan. She'd already gone beyond the old record a couple of times when she came up with this 5th round throw, measured at an impressive 21 metres 12 centimetres. Second place in the competition went to Flora Ogunwa of Nigeria, the champion at both Rio 2016 and Tokyo 2020. Her best throw was in round 2, 19 metres 26. But the big celebrations belong to Uzbekistan. After finishing second at Tokyo 2020, Nurkan Kurbanova was Paralympic champion, thanks to an unforgettable throw at the Stade de France. There were 2 main contenders in the women's shot put F40 category. Lara Baars of the Netherlands had taken the bronze medal in this event at Rio 2016. A throw of 9 metres 10 for Baars, a Paralympic record. But she knew that would be under threat from Renata Slawinska of Poland, the defending champion. 9 metres was the best throw from Slawinska. And that meant that Lara Baars of the Netherlands was the new Paralympic champion in the women's F40 shot put.
It means the world. I train so hard, I make difficult decisions to be here and win the gold medal now. It's a dream come true. It's very important that the people see that we are also athletes with a dream and with a goal, and it's fantastic that Paris, the organization in Paris, make this happen.
Today for me incredible day. I cannot see so many 80,000 people, and for me it's so hard this, but I believed I will jump. Of course, results not my personal best, but I think for today I do for a very good job for Azerbaijan.
The men's T1 and T2 paracycling road race contains some big names. Defending Paralympic champion Chun Tien-Sin of the People's Republic of China, and Dennis Connors of the United States, the current T2 world champion, who took to the head of the pack early on. Runner-up in the World Championships and at Tokyo 2020, Tim Selen of Belgium was hoping to go one better in this race, but he suffered a mechanical issue on the first lap. Connors proved to be a true gentleman. He gestured for the Belgian rider to head up the road for repairs and then did his best to slow the leading group, wanting a fair race. Selen's bike was fixed, but he would later need another repair, after which he fell out of contention. Colombian rider Juan Jose Betancourt Quiroga crashed on a descent, thankfully not seriously hurt. Austria's Wolfgang Steinbichler went on the attack. But again, Connors did the gentlemanly thing and dropped behind to help Quiroga get back into the fold. It was the Chinese rider who made the decisive break, pulling away from the group as they approached the final lap. Chen, who turned 38 today, retained his Paralympic title in impressive style. A three-man dash for the two remaining medals, and it was Connors who took the silver ahead of Quiroga. The final individual paracycling event at Paris 2024 was the women's T1 to T2 road race. There were 4 riders in the breakaway, including defending champion Jana Juncker of Germany. Denmark's Emma Lund, the current T2 world champion, was in there too, as was Celine Van Til of Switzerland, who was second behind Lund at the Worlds. The only T1 competitor in the foursome was Dutch rider Marieke van Soest, and it was these 4 who would contest the medals. Miyunka ran out of steam in the final stretch, and of the remaining 3, it was Lund who tucked it out to the line, adding the Paralympic gold medal to her trophy cabinet. Silver went to Van Til, and Van Soest took bronze.
The 4th day of the Para Equestrian, the final chance for medals in the individual freestyle event. A chance for riders in all 5 grades to perform tests of their own design to music, making sure they showcased a number of mandatory movements. Grade 4 went first with riders scored in a walk, trot and canter test. Appearing in her 2nd Paralympic Games, United States of America Kate Shoemaker set the early standard aboard Vian. Not though for long. Annalena Neuers of Germany had already won 2 bronze medals in Paris. She still wanted one more. A brilliant test put her top, and with only 2 riders to go, she guaranteed herself another medal. The colour of it would be silver, as gold went to Demi Harkins of the Netherlands. Riding Dowler, she won a 2nd gold of the Paris Games, and became the only rider to get more than 80% in both the artistic and technical scoring. Harkins was a class above. Speaking of champions, Belgium's Michelle George knows what it takes to win. She took Grade 5 individual freestyle gold in Tokyo and also won the Grade 4 event in London and in Rio. Riding best of 8, George was on top again here in Paris, a 4th successive Paralympic individual freestyle title. She finished ahead of Germany's Regina Mispel-Komp and her horse, Highlander Delights, a 3rd medal of the Paris Games for Mispel-Komp. And the podium finished exactly the same as it did for the individual event. Great Britain's Sophie Wells winning bronze, her 10th Paralympic medal. There was more British success in Grade 1, a test judged on walking-only movements. Mary Durwood-Ackhurst was the rider to beat for much of the event, the world number one scoring just under 78% aboard Athleen Lindberg. She couldn't, though, hang on until the end. Rihard Snukas of Latvia had won gold in the individual event earlier in the week. And his test performance, riding King of the Dance, put him top of the standings once again, with one combination left to go. Only Italy's Sara Morganti and her horse Mary Bell could change the scenario. Morganti won bronze in this event 3 years ago in Tokyo. This time, it would be silver. Morganti and Mary Bell produced an excellent performance, but not good enough to beat Snukas, who became a double Paralympic champion at the same games. The first time any Latvian had achieved that. No wonder he was smiling.
Their final day of Paralympic competition gave the world's best wheelchair fencers one last chance to savour the remarkable setting of the Grand Palais. The prize at stake, gold medals in men's and women's team épée events. That atmosphere really grew when the French women's team made their entrance for their quarter-final match. 3 fencers per team who all face one another in a series of bouts. And Cécile Demeaux, Clémence Delavoye and Brianna Vide were up against Hong Kong, China. Each bout lasts until a multiple of 5 points has been scored or until 3 minutes is reached. And this match provided all the excitement the crowd could wish for. With 2 bouts to go, France trailed 35-32. The first team to reach 45 points in total wins the overall match. Delavoye clawed back the deficit against Fan Kui-shan. With time almost running out, a double hit with both fencers striking their opponent above the waist made it 40 points all heading into the final bout. Performance from Brianna Vide against Yu Chu Yi took France into the semi-finals 45-41. The noise levels rose again for France's quarter-final match in the men's competition. This was a tougher test for the host nation, up against the silver medalist in the team foil event, Great Britain. The British team included Dimitri Kucher, who'd won individual gold in Category B foil and épée. He took just 6 seconds to win his encounter with Ludovic Lemoine. And when Piers Gilliver defeated Damien Tolkatlian 5-3, Great Britain had wrapped up victory by 45 points to 20. The women's team semi-final between Thailand and Ukraine was a much closer encounter. Despite the best efforts of Seisuni Jana, triple gold medalist in the individual Category B events, Thailand could not stop Ukraine. They won 45-42 to move into the women's team épée gold medal match.
The Netherlands and Australia met in the play-off for 5th and 6th position in wheelchair basketball at the Bercy Arena, a repeat of their opening match of the tournament, which the Dutch had won by an 11-point margin. No one scored more points for the Netherlands in Paris than Mendel Opten-North. 26 in the previous game against Australia, 2 more here for an early lead. The Dutch edged in front until Tom O'Neill-Thorne tried his luck from range. Matthias Bellers demonstrated his defensive skills here before showing off his scoring prowess at the other end. Tristan Knowles, though, struck from outside the D to give Australia a slender lead. A tight first quarter was replicated in the second. Robin Pogenwish found his form, but that was nothing compared to Knowles. Another 3 with 40 seconds to go. And another to beat the buzzer. The Australia captain putting his side 9 points up at half-time. Their supporters enjoying the occasion, if not exactly jumping for joy. The second half started and almost immediately stopped as the ball became stuck, an omen perhaps for the Dutch. When they did close the gap, Luke Poppel took a page out of the Tristan Knowles playbook. The Netherlands fought hard, but Australia's impressive display from distance had put this game just out of reach. The Australians won it 82-75 to finish 5th at Paris 2024. The Netherlands finished 6th.
Japan and Spain faced each other in the playoff for 7th and 8th in the women's wheelchair basketball. Both teams have had a challenging time in their Paris 2024 campaign and were keen to finish the Paralympic Games with a win. First shot of the game and first point went to Japan and Yakinamoto Amane. Isabel Lopez finally found the basket for Spain against the clock, and what a beauty it was, 10-2. Hajino Mayo's double throw extended the lead for Japan as the clock counted down on the first quarter. Virginia Perez delivered off the backboard and in for Spain, but Japan had a 7-point advantage going into the second quarter. Naginamoto was at the centre of everything for Japan. She rolled up here for another three-pointer. 23-15 to Japan. Spain were trying their best to close the gap, and Isabel Lopez positioned herself well for the shot and fired it in. But Japan had a commanding lead at half-time, 38-26. Spain knew they had to make their chances count, and again it was Lopez who used her height to score. Japan's lead was down to 8 points moments later as Lourdes Ortega found the basket. And then it was reduced further to 6 points as Victoria Villarino found Virginia Perez to end the third quarter with new belief. Japan were quick to respond though, a 12-point lead restored after a steal. Animoto rolled it in. It was now 54-44. The Japan defence did their job too, as Spain pushed for points. Every pathway was blocked. And in the dying seconds, Chihiro Katida found a last basket for Japan's first win at these games and 7th place. Japan 72, Spain 55.